We are joined, and we welcome Steve Zahn into the room. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now we're going to warm you up. Hey, Ted, can we get those 10 Ted approved?
What?
Ted, where'd you go? Well, we were going to warm you up as soon as Ted comes in.
This is our PA system, our high-tech
We just
PA
shout
system.
out the door. Ted! It worked.
I was going to say, are we on the air, dude? Are you supposed to do that?
And we're going to warm you up. We'll play a little 10 Ted Approve, which is basically a trivia game.
Okay.
And if you think you know the answer, you shout your name. And then you when you're called on, you give the answer.
Okay.
But now, I will warn you ahead of time that we're really good. So when the question's being read, if you even think you know the answer,
Okay.
then you weigh in as quickly as you can.
Okay, I got
And
it.
as soon as we get those from Ted.
I got it.
Hey, Ted!
Hi.
Ted's like, I'm making coffee.
What we need.
He's making me go. We need the thing, though.
Got it. All right. While we wait on that, we, as many people are, we're big fans of yours, and it seems for the most part at the beginning, Steve Zahn's funny, comedy, funny. But then in the last few years, you've been really showing the deeper chop. Rescue Dawn.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
How much weight did you lose for that?
I lost 40 pounds.
You didn't have 40 pounds to lose, did
I
you?
did. I was like 170. And then, but, it kind of becomes an obsession. I mean, it's your job, so it's a lot easier than if you're just doing it to,
Right.
I mean, it's your job. I gotta lose the weight, and I gotta play this guy who's extremely thin. So it's a little easier, but my wife was just pissed, because she was like, "You're like a high school bulimic chick," because I'd be obsessed with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about gaining the weight back? Was that fun?
I didn't. Well, right after that, I went to Vietnam on a little trip, and I tried to, and you realize that's why in Asia they don't get. I couldn't gain a pound, and I ate like a pig. I mean, I was rice and anything I could get my hands on, but I really didn't gain anything till I got home.
Pizza.
Now, how does one
cheeseburgers.
lose 40 pounds? What were you not doing or doing?
You don't eat. And
Eat.
if you eat stuff and it tastes good, you spit it out because it's probably not good for you. And then I ran. But I remember one day my wife, she said, "Let's get a pizza." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's get a pizza." And I knew that she just wanted me to say that so that she would feel better about getting a pizza.
Yeah.
And then she got it and she says, "You want a pizza?" I said, "No." And then we got in a huge fight. And I said, "Dude, you just want the pizza because you just want to eat it and be happy that I ate the pizza." And then I went in the other room with a piece of pizza. I said, "Look, I'm eating the pizza." And I started eating. She's like, "I don't want pizza anymore." And so I went into the kitchen, and I was like, "Oh, fine." And I went into the kitchen, and she came in 10 minutes later, and the entire pizza was gone. I had eaten it, and she was laughing, going, "Oh, my God. Are you serious? You ate that whole—" I said, "Yeah, I did."
How'd you feel?
I was frightened that I had eaten it that fast. No, I felt like crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we have 10 Ted approved. This will warm you up.
All right,
Now,
let's
again,
go.
it's a trivia game. If you know the answer, shout your name. We're really quick.
All right, question number 1. What 2008 film became Britain's biggest box office hit moneymaker of all time?
2008.
2008.
2008?
Yep.
That was last year, right?
Right. It was.
Became Britain's.
There it is. Britain's
Nice.
biggest box office hit moneymaker of all time.
In
Kelly.
Britain.
Yeah, Kelly?
I guess we're all playing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jumped in. Iron Man?
Nope.
Dude, I don't even.
Was it a British film?
No.
Became Britain.
Starring one
Okay.
of our biggest stars.
Okay, Mark.
Mark?
Quantum of Solace.
No.
I don't know. I live on a farm in Kentucky.
You can't use that excuse your whole life. You've used
A
that
bridge too
excuse-
far!
No. The thing, we've talked about it. None of us in here liked it at all.
How anticlimactic.
Oh, Frankie.
Oh, Ted liked it. Frankie?
Oh, no. It would be Slumdog Millionaire.
Not Slumdog Millionaire. I like that movie.
That's why I corrected it.
Ted
I love that you just set this up as being like, you have to be really fast. I was about to say, question number 1, Steve! Now I'm not even nervous.
Sometimes it's slower than usual.
Okay.
2008. Britain's biggest box office hit moneymaker of all time. One of our biggest female stars.
Female stars.
That narrows it down.
Biggest. Think of the biggest. Biggest female actor. Most critically acclaimed female actress.
It's the one in
I need your name.
with the. What is it? Dude, what is it?
Steve.
Steve?
But it's not even an answer. She was on the Titanic, and right?
You know
Am I
we're on
getting
question
close?
number 1.
Yes.
We have 10 of these.
Is it Kate Winslet? Is he?
It is not.
Kate went.
How about Julia Roberts?
It is not bigger than...
How about Angelina Jolie?
No.
Ah.
Not. I wouldn't say bigger money but most critically acclaimed actress this country has.
Meryl Streep?
Yes.
Oh, it was that one.
I need your name.
Steve.
Steve.
God, I'm just talking, man. It was that one. I'm like a redneck. That one. I'm like the guy who comes up to me in the airport. You know the one? You're in that one. With the car. There's cars in it.
Okay, Mark.
Oh, Frankie.
Kelly.
Mark?
Doubt?
No, Frankie.
No, the one where
Mamma
they sing.
Mia.
Mamma
Mamma Mia!
Like that.
God.
See, that's what I was
The
thinking.
one.
Oh,
All right,
God.
just move on.
All right.
Let's get that out of the way.
Question number 2. What is the height of a crossbar of an NFL
Mark.
goalpost? Mark?
12 feet.
Incorrect.
Steve.
Frankie?
How about 11.6?
Incorrect. 11-6. Steve?
14.
Nope.
Kelly.
Kelly?
15.
No.
The guys can
Steve.
jump.
13.
Not 13.
Frankie.
Frankie?
Mark.
11.
No. Mark?
10.
10 feet.
God, that's not true. It's not 10 feet. I could dunk that.
Question number 3. What famous strip club cabaret did Elvis visit while stationed in Europe during his army stint?
Mark.
Mark?
It was in Paris. Starts with an L, right?
I'm out of this.
It does not.
Oh.
We all are except for Mark.
I don't
He's the
believe
biggest
in these
Elvis
places.
fan.
That's a tough question.
All right, here's a clue.
Yeah.
They
have
did
a
a
story.
movie about it.
Oh.
Cabaret?
No.
Bridge too far?
Close. Very successful musical movie.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly?
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moulin Rouge.
You want to hear the story?
Yeah, really, I do.
It's
How
good.
about after Steve? Because, we got Steve.
All right. It's about that one, though.
Steve, did you want to hear his story? It's up to you.
Eventually, yeah.
Let him get some coffee in.
All right, question number 4. What is a cat o' nine tails?
Frankie.
Mark?
That's
Hi.
it's a whip. It's
a
a
what?
plant. A plant.
It's a what?
A whipping. A whip. It's a whip.
It's a whip.
Wow, that's good.
Long way to go.
Man, I made that my bitch, didn't I?
No, not really.
All right.
When you do this, you really can't make anything. Question number 5. What instrument did Andy Taylor play
Mark.
in the Mayberry Town Band? Mark?
He played a horn, and it was a
I need an answer. Steve's
I
next.
feel like you're playing charades.
bassoon.
No, Steve.
No, guitar.
Not in the
In
band.
the town band.
He played that on the porch.
Oh, band, right. Listen, Steve, listen.
Kelly.
Kelly.
How about a drum?
No.
How about a Frankie?
Frankie.
How about a tuba?
A tuba. That's
That's not true either.
correct. We don't make these up, man.
Is that all yours?
That's all. That's all
right.
5.
Question number 6. When it comes to seafood, which U.S. city is known
Kelly.
for...
Brian.
Kelly.
Frankie.
I'm gonna
Way
one
too
or two. I'm gonna go San Francisco.
No. Brian, did you say your name?
Yes,
For
I did.
what?
New Orleans.
No.
For what?
Frankie, did you say your name?
I did.
Steve, see, these people have called their names,
What's
so
the
I can't.
question?
I can't finish the question until
right,
they've all
right.
answered, and then I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and then I'll get it.
Frank,
How about Boston?
which city is known for its scrod? I have no idea what that is.
I don't think it's very good. I think it's like the bottom feeding stuff. From what
Some
I
guy
remember.
texted, "Hey, is this the guy from Saving Silverman?" Yes, it is.
I want to shout out
Dude,
Strange Wilderness,
that
by the
one.
way.
Oh, Strange Wilderness. Very.
Oh
yeah,
my
that was-
God.
Rescue Dawn.
I want to shout that one.
Another funny one. If you're thinking that's
The dance numbers were fantastic. Question 7. Okay, what pet did the Wicked Queen in
Brian.
Snow? Brian,
She had a cat.
incorrect.
No.
What pet did the Wicked Queen in Snow
Steve.
White have? Steve.
a rat.
No.
Ah, man. That's me swearing on when I can't.
I give you a hint. It was a bird.
Brian.
Brian.
One of those Nevermore. Raven.
Correct.
I was going to say that.
But you didn't.
I know.
Question 8. What are the colors of the feathers the Indian maiden is wearing on the Land O'Lakes? Brian.
Yellow.
No.
Steve.
Red. Okay. Colors.
Red and blue.
Is it red and blue?
Yes, and there's one more. Brian.
Red, yellow, and blue.
No.
Oh, well, it'd be...
Frankie.
Red, white, and blue.
Correct.
That's not a color.
Question 9. Because of a 1980s hit song. Okay, get on your...
Okay. I want to...
Because of a 1980s hit song, what 7-digit telephone...
Kelly.
Brian.
8675309.
That is correct. And the last question of the day, question 10. Give us some Three Stooges for Steve. Question 10.
One more time.
Question 10.
Come on, get out of my way.
Spread out.
What was the...
Steve's thinking, where am I? What have I walked into?
All right, get ready. Get ready. This is good.
All right.
What was the very first cereal to come in a box?
Brian.
Heard a K. Kelly.
Quaker Oats.
No. Brian.
Kellogg's Cornflakes.
No.
Steve. Rice Krispies.
No.
Frankie. Wheaties.
No.
Brian.
Brian.
Count Chocula.
Steve. Steve.
Steve.
Cheerios, man.
No.
Cheers, man.
I'll give you a hint.
It's a dude
Kelly.
Kelly.
Sorry.
Well, they have them to this day, but they've drastically changed. This was a cereal that no self-deserving kid would ever eat.
Frankie.
Frankie.
Actually, Kelly said was
Kelly.
I'm going to go with, the things that make you the barley stuff.
Brian.
Yeah. I'm on the right track. And I'm going to go with,
Okay, I need your answer.
I know.
All right, Brian.
Liver bits.
No.
Frankie. Grape nuts.
No.
Steve.
They would come in
Sorry.
bricks.
Yeah.
Steve.
Mini wheats.
Yeah.
But originally it was
Wheat
shredded
thing,
wheat.
Shredded wheat.
That you would see them on the commercial break these bricks into the... Who eats that?
Yeah.
All right. Steve Zahn is here. We're going to do business. We're going to come back if you have questions
Hopefully
for
he'll
him.
be here when we come back.
1-800-955-5567. It is the Mark and Brian radio program.
Welcome back to the Mark and Brian radio program. We are back with Steve Zahn. We haven't even talked about this yet, and we will get into it. But first, I have another question. But he's got a new movie out, opens this Friday, called Management, and we'll hear about that in a second. But Steve, I wanted to go back to that thing you do. How could it feel to be kind of a relatively no-named person at this point, a young, very talented actor, and be cast in a movie? A Tom Hanks movie that he's acting, and this is his project. You know it's going to be. You don't want to jinx it and go, well, this movie's going to be incredibly popular, but it's Tom Hanks, who can do no wrong. A turning point in your life, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I went to. I remember I got a call. I was living outside New York, and they said, "Hey, there's a reading tomorrow," and an actor dropped out of it. And will you come in and read? And I was like, well, can I read it before? And I read it in the morning, like as I went in and I read it, and I did the reading, and Tom was there. And they didn't say
it was a
It
Tom
was
Hanks.
like it was written by, and it was some other person. They said it's just an informal reading. I was like, oh my God, it's Tom Hanks. And I read it, and it was good. And I was going to the elevator to leave, and he came up and he was like, that was great, man. That was really great. And I got a call from him like the next day.
Tom called you.
Yeah, and I was, poor. I was living in a cabin out in Pennsylvania, driving in, doing plays. And I remember hanging up the phone looking up at the wires and going, wow, Tom Hanks just called me through those wires to this shack. And now I'm going to go do a movie. And, and honestly, I still have those kind of moments where I never... You know what I mean? It's always a surreal thing. I hope that always lasts. But
Sure.
And he was really, instrumental in all us guys. He taught us so much about things that you're supposed to just kind of learn after screwing up, and 10 years later. He's very, very much like a dad, and a lot of technical things, and you show up, you know your stuff, you set the tone, all those things that are hard to learn, and so I it meant the world.
He said in an interview, he said the main thing he remembers about doing that film was how tired he was.
Oh yeah, and for him to then be so gracious with making sure he spent time with us and to teach us, was remarkable. Because he was going crazy.
And I will shout the praises, and I think Brian feels the same. Saving Silverman.
Yeah,
you and Jack Black, that frickin' thing was hilarious.
Yeah, that was a blast. Jack and I, we would hang out like constantly. We were, breakfast, noon, dinner.
Now, what kind of a guy is he when he's not working? He's just hanging out.
Jack is you can't be that funny and be a dumb guy. He's a really smart, good person, but he's not this party. I remember we were walking across the street together, and there's this guy in a Denny's across and we could see him in the window, like waving his arms and going crazy, and we were relatively kind of new, but established a bit, and he came running out of this Denny's in Vancouver. It's some diner he was in. It wasn't a Denny's, but he comes running out, and he was like freaking out in the middle of the street, like, dude, you are the two guys, I'm like, we gotta go out, we're going out, and then we just stood there and looked at him and went, oh, great, and you could see him, he's deflated as we didn't live up to the thing,
Oh, sure.
And then he walked away, and Jack turned to me and he was like, see, he wanted to be magic friends. We were going to be magic friends and just be friends forever because it was magic.
Have you ever seen, did he show you, and if not, have you seen Jack Black as a kid doing an Atari commercial with a pith helmet on?
No.
I'm going to get it up on YouTube, and we can watch it before you leave.
Oh, my God.
It is hilarious, and you could rip him a new one when you see it.
All right, we'll get to some phone calls in a minute. Tell us about, now this is with, your new film is Management. It opens Friday. It's with Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the film.
It's I guess it would be categorized as a romantic comedy because it's not a war picture or a Western.
So, since it's not those two...
I really refrain from that because it's not, it is, and the poster is kind of alluding to the fact that it's a romantic comedy. But the bottom line is, if I'm the lead in a romantic comedy, it's obviously not your run-of-the-mill, like knight in shining armor, he said, she said, like 2-hour hijinks.
The trailer looks funny.
It's truly one of the best scripts I ever read, and I was floored. It's absurd. You know what it reminds me of? It's more of on the lines of like Say Anything, which is, it has this level of absurdity and just slapstick crazy, really funny, character driven, but at the same time it's very real and moving, and you really believe these two characters are so flawed and simple. Like the guy I play, Mike, works at a motel, and he has the inability to lie and be sarcastic. He's just like the nicest guy in the world, and he falls in love with this worker girl, Jennifer Aniston, who sells corporate art to like motels, and she's very serious and she doesn't want to get close to anybody, and they have this little weird fling where I keep getting into a room like and giving her free champagne, and she could see through it, and I don't know, we have this weird then I follow her across the country just like in a very innocent way. I just pursue her, and she goes back to her old ex-punk boyfriend, Woody Harrelson, who's like a yogurt CEO, and I just keep pursuing her.
Had you worked with Jennifer before?
I did an episode of Friends.
That's right, you did.
Like in '94, and I still have more people that come up to me on the street and go, "You were in Friends." It was like 4 days out of my life, but that show was so.
Yeah.
So and Jennifer's the kind of person that if you sure remember what you were talking about, like 3 years later. And then we did a movie in New York called Object of My Affection with Paul Rudd, and that was a little more, we didn't really work together, but we were, on the same movie. And so we knew each other.
All right, 2 questions, and both very important.
Yeah.
Question 1. In the film, did you kiss Jennifer Aniston on the mouth?
Yes.
Question 2, very important here. Please think before you answer.
Yes. Steve. I'm sorry.
We call it no apparent reason whiplash. What is it like? What does she smell like? What does she taste like? Is it soft? What was that?
Yeah. You answered it. I mean, yeah, she's a beautiful woman, man. She's she's one of the kindest people I think I've ever met in my life. And it's just, it truly was one of those gigs. There's a couple in my resume that I can look at and go, I couldn't wait to go to work, and it was because of the people I was working with. And she and I just had a ball, and she's a beautiful, just
Gorgeous.
yeah. And she's in this movie, she's unbelievable.
But she does hate kids.
All right, Steve Zahn is with us. We will get to your calls. If you have one, it's 1-800-955-5567. We're back with one more Steve Zahn on the Mark and Brian radio program. All right, watch what we do. We promised you this. Welcome back. Mark and Brian radio program. Steve Zahn is with us. And Steve is enjoying a beverage this morning. Steve, what is that beverage that you're enjoying, and where did it come from?
It came from... Oh, are you sure it came from there?
Yeah, it did.
It came from McCaff.
Hey.
I forgot. I had to turn it more. It was
Okay,
still
sorry.
turning
Sorry.
its round, dude.
Sorry.
And how does it taste, Steve? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
There we go.
I mean, yeah. It's It's
Good. It's coffee-like.
Yeah, it's like coffee.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into a thing. One of the people... In fact, let's just take the call. Line 7, Frankie. Is it Raj?
Yeah, hey guys, good morning.
Hey, you're on the air with Steve Zahn.
Great. Hey Steve, great actor, really love the stuff you do.
Thanks.
And particularly, I was wondering in That Thing You Do, and also in Saving Silverman, your characters come off very natural, and how much of that is improv versus scripted?
Well, and That Thing You Do is pretty scripted. Although, no, in That Thing You Do, Tom, it was bizarre because Tom kept adding... He would suggest, like, hey, we're going to shoot, like, if we have time, like, you playing cards with some old guys would be funny. And I'm like, great. And then an hour later he goes, no, you'd be playing Go Fish. And then he would keep changing it. And we would always shoot that stuff that he would come up with. And so a lot of those little Lenny things in That Thing You Do were just kind of... And I knew that, I thought, well, even at that point in my career, I was like, this is never going to make the movie. But they all did, which is good.
Want to see my dick? Pretty quick. I'm from Philly, PA. I'm signing. You're signing. We're all signing.
Well,
so many great quotes you had.
It's true, though, because you do have an ability of taking a written, scripted line word for word, and it comes out so naturally.
Well, I don't know.
You do.
See, right there.
my
That was
job.
natural. Right there.
I know, and it's written down in front of
I
me.
know.
This is all scripted.
It's the
people.
whole interview.
Let's go to Rudy on line 4, because we talked about kissing Jennifer Aniston. Dude, you've made a career of kissing beautiful women. Rudy, you're on the air.
Hey, Steve, how you doing? Hey,
good.
I love your work, man.
Thanks.
Hey, in the movie Banditas, I mean, dude, you, Salma Hayek, and Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
What was up with that?
It was, you know what? When I shot that, I was so nervous, because I had to be naked and tied down to a bed with a hat over me, or a very small portion of me. But it's not that small, actually. It's
No.
It's a big hat.
Yeah.
Big,
Bowler, man.
It was like
bowler
the
hat.
Pope hat.
But we actually shot that. It was like almost 2 days. But after the first 10 minutes, 5 hours into the first day, when you're walking around naked and no one is paying attention to you, because the first 10 minutes are like, oh man, you're naked. And then after that, it's like, hey, dude.
What's up?
It's a very strange thing. But that was crazy. That was a pretty fun scene.
We're speaking with Steve Zahn. New movie opens this Friday. Management with Steve Zahn and Jennifer Aniston, Woody Harrelson, and a host, Fred Ward. Oh, Fred Ward is in this.
Fred is unbelievable.
He's a good buddy of the program. I can't just. I just let him go. You just let him
only
go.
Amazing things.
We should play a rousing around real quick while you're here of what's Steve carrying.
Oh, awesome.
Now we do this with all our upper echelon guests. We just wonder, big star, what kind of cash you carrying around? No
Yeah,
credit card.
not yet.
Don't pull it yet.
Oh.
We all take a guess. How much would Steve Zahn have?
Now, we take this very seriously. We would appreciate if you would get serious about this.
Frankie, what do you
Look
think?
at me.
Oh, geez, Louise. How about, I'll just say an even C note, $100.
$100?
Yeah.
For Steve?
Yeah.
All right, Kelly? Oh, Kelly's not in there. Priva.
Where does he live? Where do you live?
I live in Kentucky.
He lives on a farm in Kentucky.
So he's okay. I say 140.
No, I'm. Well, go ahead, Mark. What do you think?
He's a farm boy. He's not not a lot. It's gonna be walking money, but he's not crazy. He doesn't go into a store and just buy. He doesn't need a lot. Not like 1,000. He needs $175.
See, here's my thing. I'm going with what you guys are saying, but I'm going the opposite. He's farm boy. He's in the big city. He's going to go see boobies.
Yeah.
He's going to strip joints.
Yeah.
He's going to buy whores on Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
Without his wife knowing about it, of course. And he might even try that of the crack. I'm going to go. I bet he's carrying over $400.
Kelly,
What if I already did all that stuff?
and paid for it. All right, would you please pull
I
your
have
wallet
pulled out.
and count your cash?
I have, well, here's my license for fishing and hunting. Let's see. I have
20s.
20, 40, 60.
Nice.
Oh, 80, 85. 80. That's $90 right there.
All right, it's Frank.
Frank got 100. Now, Frank gets half of that now. That's the way you play the game. So.
You want to see my license?
Yeah.
This gets you out of tickets, speeding tickets.
How come?
Check it out.
God, you were happy to be at the DMV,
Yeah,
were
you
you
just
not?
got to make a crazy fun face. And if the trooper behind you is laughing, you don't get a ticket.
It works just like that. Well, the movie, it does look fun. Jennifer Aniston's Steve Zahn, Management, it opens this Friday. Dude, we had about as much fun as we thought we would have with you.
Right on.
It's
Thanks. I did
fantastic.
too.
And would you please wave at the golden spot in the country, Kentucky, for us?
I will.
You have how many acres?
310.
Check it out.
He has more acres than dollars.
He does.
I do.
And how many?
I do.
Wow.
Actually.
How many?
It's a problem.
How many horses do you have on your property?
4 horses. Quarter horses. 2 fainting goats. And 2 sheep. No, and 2 sheep.
Wow, that's a full.
But they're just to point and laugh at.
Do you shear the sheep? Do you?
Yeah, I got to get them sheared. I don't shear them.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
It is.
That's like wrestling a bear.
Yeah.
Sheep are. I mean, that's a funny thing to watch. To get them down.
Funny looking afterwards
They'll
too.
kill you, man.
I know.
They'll run right over you. Mine are huge.
They let somebody else do it.
I know. I pulled them.
Okay.
We get them in a corner and I pull them back, and once they're on their butts, though, they're like it's like a little kid watching TV. It's crazy.
Now, is it a working farm? Do you have like chickens and your garden and?
Oh, I have huge gardens. I'm a big gardener. I've cut flowers, perennials, raised herbs, raised vegetables. I do it all, and then yeah. No, yeah.
That's fantastic, man. You got out of this and you got the career and you got the.
Yeah, no, I don't want to even think about it because I don't want it to go away.
Steve, fantastic meeting you, man. You're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
And
Steve.
tell your buddy Christian Bale what a good time you had and that he should come in.
I will.
All right. It's the Mark Bryan radio program. We'll be back after this.